You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible. Jon Stewart testified today before Capitol Hill and had some tough words for Congress when it came to the issue of health care for the folks who put their lives on the line during 9/11. Now, folks, check this out. I mean, he let Congress have it.
The official FDNY response time to 9/11 was 5 seconds. 5 seconds. That's how long it took for FDNY, for NYPD, for Port Authority, for EMS to respond to an urgent need from the public. 5 seconds. Hundreds died in an instant. Thousands more poured in to continue to fight for their brothers and sisters.
All right, folks, and this is how he actually opened the hearing, taking Congress to task for, let's just say, a lot of them not even showing the hell up for their job. Go watch this.
I want to thank Mr. Collins and Mr. Naylor for putting this together, but as I sit here today, I can't help but think what an incredible metaphor this room is for the entire process that getting health care and benefits for 9/11 first responders has come to. Behind me, a filled room of 9/11 first responders, and in front of me, a nearly empty Congress. Sick and dying, they brought themselves down here to speak to no one. It's shameful. It's an embarrassment to the country, and it is a stain on this institution. And you should be ashamed of yourselves for those that aren't here, but you won't be. Because accountability doesn't appear to be something that occurs in this chamber.
Wow. Right. To see, first of all, you got to be an idiot if you're a member of Congress and you are on this committee and you don't show up.
Yeah. This is another failure of our Congress, of our government. And I was listening to some of it after some of the people who were actually there, the firefighters, and they were talking about how they've seen the words, the nice, comforting words from these politicians, and, they talked about that, but then when it comes to actually advocating, putting some meat on the bones, they're nowhere to be found. So, this is an example of your nice words are just that,
It's called pimping the process.
Well, what it is it's faux patriotism, part-time patriotism, and I know this intimately. I've been a first responder for natural disasters, and I remember, the impacts that were happening to folks who ran into the World Trade Center, those who lost their lives, but also those who've been exposed to pollution, and the toxins that were inside of the building that came from the jet fuel and all these other things, and how people have been crying out year after year. One, do you see us? Yeah. And two, are you willing to help us? We are the ones who are there on the front lines when we have these types of things. And it's just, it's so disrespectful to the country. It's disrespectful to those men and women who give their lives. And it just goes to show you who's serious about, protecting our country, who's serious about standing up for what's right. And it's interesting, folks will get tied up in knots when Colin Kaepernick actually took a knee, and they were saying that he wasn't patriotic. But when you have men and women who are getting paid to sit on Capitol Hill and not show up for these types of situations and support people, that shows you what real patriotism is all about, if you want to go from that paradigm.
And according to, so this is the New York Post, the House bill in question permanently reauthorizes the Victim Compensation Fund through October 1st, 2090, which should account for the lifespan of all the children and adults sickened by the terror attacks. But right now, the fund has a funding shortfall. because survivors would receive cuts of 50% for pending claims and 70%
yeah,
for
that's
future
what I heard.
claims.
Yeah, I mean, it's, as a New Yorker, I mean, you sit here and you hear some of these gut-wrenching stories about, individuals who can't work. I mean, they have migraines, they've got fluid leaking from their brain, on an almost weekly and recurring basis. And so I think it truly is shameful when you have half these individuals who are ready to give themselves a raise, not just 2 days ago, and now they can't even show up for committee meetings.
Right.
For individuals who literally ran into the fire, a fire that, by all accounts, didn't go out for months after the towers fell.
Right.
Individuals who you see those images of people covered in soot. Most of those people are no longer alive because of the toxins that people were breathing in. And so it just really makes you think, and it forces you to truly examine the fabric of a nation, where you have Hurricane Katrina, I mean, my father in particular, living in a FEMA trailer in Houma, Louisiana, waiting to be able to go back home. You've got individuals here in Puerto Rico who still don't have power. You've got people in Flint, Michigan who don't have clean water. When pain comes to the front doors of people who need our help the most, when we are supposed to be the nation that takes care of our own, in particular those who stood in front of us when danger came and reared its ugly head, it seems that inevitably those who are the loudest fervor for the red, the white, and the blue are nowhere to be found.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just 1 month. All right, folks, they're back. MarijuanaStock.org has another great investment opportunity. If you were lucky enough to invest in the last crowdfunding campaign, they raised a lot of money in just a few months investing in legal marijuana farms. Those initial investors now own shares of a publicly traded company. And of course, they're excited by that. Now they have a new investment opportunity that is as good, if not better, than the last. I'm talking about industrial hemp CBD. For those who don't know, the hemp plant is a cousin to marijuana, of course, and then it has a higher concentration of CBD, which means hemp CBD gives you all of the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Now, until recently, hemp farming was practically illegal in the U.S. and heavily regulated by the DEA. However, that changed with the 2018 Farm Bill, making it legal to grow hemp CBD in the U.S. and creating one of the largest commodities worldwide. They need land to grow all of the plants, and this makes for an incredible investment opportunity. And that's where our good friends at 420 Real Estate come in. Their business model is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. You can invest in this crowdfunding campaign for as little as $200 up to $10,000. All right, folks, all you got to do is go to marijuanastock.org. That's marijuanastock.org if you want to get in the game. And if you do so, do it now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.